Good day and good evening to everyone. My name is DonnaOchoa. I'll be reporting under Group C, Module 1, Part 3.1, Types of Development Communication Materials. According to Lustria, Tabing, and Osalia, classification schemes in development communication uses different materials in presenting and transmitting information to elicit attention and subsequently achieve a targeted response or result. There are three known factors to categorize these: according to use, according to senses, according to technological requirement. According to use is also subdivided into three parts. Object media can be touched, staged, and more importantly, can be felt by the senses. This caters to a small group of audience for a more focused, detailed, and structured presentation of information and processes. Examples are specimens, replicas, dioramas, and mock-ups. These objects serves as a live reference that can mirror the message that you wish to convey step by step. I believe the most common example for this right now are the demo tables as seen in mobile stores, and also scale models that are used to sell and market infrastructure projects. Another is presentation media. The intended audience is exposed through their sight, hearing, or both. Caters to a large and varied audience. Presentation media can be in the form of publications, video programs, films, radio, and posters. I believe the most widely viewed and used are instructional videos during the pandemic on how to properly wash our hands. Another popular poster that can also be associated with this would be the Earth Hour poster that we see every year. Interactive media allows for audience participation in the learning process using sense of sight, hearing, or both. Two-way communication is quite evident in this form of media. Response is also readily available. Modern examples are tutorials that are computer-based and lecture handouts that are equipped with questionnaires and games. I think the most relevant example for this is the Mentimeter that we use during lectures, wherein we can already assign polls, and we can also interact through posting our questions with a ready answer within the lecture group. And of course, for children, these are the handouts that also serve as game pads for them. The next scheme is according to senses used in decoding. Communication materials are likewise classified according to the senses used in understanding a message. This is the process wherein the message has now turned into an image or an idea by the recipient, which makes it the most common scheme. This type of communication material can be through print and broadcast media for larger reach, and audiovisual media for a smaller targeted group. I believe the TV and ad campaign of SM Supermalls using the tagline, "Kumain ka na ba?" is very befitting because it evokes a certain emotion to the receiver. It evokes the idea of food, the idea of hunger, and then the posing of the question, there is a call to action. Another, I think, a more advanced example of this would be the collaboration of SM Cares with MTRCB in bringing forth the project of movie screening for the deaf and the blind. MTRCB and SM use an audiovisual form of media using vivid sounds and vivid lights to be able to communicate the story to the deaf and the blind. Number 3 is according to technological requirement. The third classification is, of course, based on technology. All of us know what are the examples of the non-electronic media, which are newspapers, magazines, books, catalogs, and flyers, while electronic media is radio, television, mobile, tablet, and computers. For its advantages, I think there's a certain point of parallelism. Non-electronic media is tangible, while electronic media is real-time in transmission. Non-electronic media is tried and tested, However, parallel to there's an instant feedback. So you get to test what you say. Both can reach a wider view of audience, while non-electronic media is also cost effective, while cost effective meaning there's always physical reference, while electronic media is readily updated. So there's always relevance in its message. But having to discuss all of this, having to see what the types of media, either print or broadcast, we can use, I want to answer the question, why is there a need to classify these media types? I thought of four. Flexibility. The topics that development communication needs to address are vast and most often unpopular. Having a wider range of media types and methods is an essential tool to draw the effectiveness of a program based on varied circumstances. Second is presence of choice. Dissecting developmental problems do not have a single standard process. It entails studies and repeated trials using different mediums. The presence of various media types to study details and outcomes is necessary. Number three is effectivity. Only when the right and the most applicable tools are used can really determine the success of a particular study. The right tools are also a representation of the integrity of the project and its results. Purpose. The purpose is what sets development communication apart. It is a discipline that is measured through how effectively it delivered its message towards identifying, facing, and offering a qualified and quantified solution to a problem. The next 2 pages are just my sources and references. That would be all for now. Thank you, everyone.